So the kids are in school, first day back. That means the adults get to play. Actually, no, we actually get to do some work for once now. So today I come out here to get some inspiration. I'm actually doing a talk tonight in Manly at Ruby Lane. It's going to be pretty exciting. And also this weekend I'm going to be heading out to Perth for a one-day mastermind session with some great entrepreneurs. If you actually live in WA and actually are in Perth and you want to come out for this one day, I actually have 2 spots left. So just PM me. I find when it comes to seminars and doing talks, a lot of people make these critical mistakes, and I think that we should consider them before you actually do a seminar, and that's why you actually spend the time to prepare. I think one of the first mistakes that people make is that they're not clear on their objective. They focus on too many things that they want to talk about. What happens is that people have no idea why they're actually there. They might have thought it was great, but they're actually left unclear. So the one thing how to solve that problem is actually to have one objective. What's the one objective that you want people to leave your talk for 45 minutes or being with you for a day or even a 3-day event? What's the one objective you're trying to achieve that you want them to know? Once you know that objective, it's going to be helpful to actually create the content you need to deliver on that promise. The second mistake that most people make when they do their talks is that they put too much in. They cram so much information. They feel that the more information they put in, the better the experience for their audience. But the result is the exact opposite. Although your talk might have been fantastic, filled with great information, the problem is the audience may not get the point that you're trying to get across, which is the objective. When you have too much information, the audience is left feeling that they had a great experience, but the problem is that they actually can't recall any of it. So therefore, all your stories, all your content should be focused in on the objective that you're trying to achieve. How do you take the person on the journey from point A to point B? Focus on the one thing so that they can actually have a great experience, so they can tell others about what they learned, rather than being confused with all this information and not being able to repeat it to their friends. Although you want to have a structure, you also want to make sure you want to keep it loose. You want to have some spontaneity in your talk. You want to leave some leeway where you might have an insight in the middle of your speaking. When you can speak a little bit off the cuff, when it's a little bit less structured, people then buy into your authenticity. People buy into you and your passion shows up. When you're too structured and you know exactly every word or every sentence you're going to say, what ends up happening is people don't get that. They don't feel like that's truly you. The longer you actually have to speak, say a full day, allows you to have lots of areas of spontaneity. And now a 45-minute to an hour talk, you still have room, where if it's a 10-minute talk, you have less room to create spontaneity. So that has to be more structured. I find the less time I actually have, the more structured I have to be, but the more time I have, the less structured I have to be. Let's talk a little bit about how many points you want to get across. I think a talk that's 20 minutes or less, you really have only one chance to make one point. So you want to spend that time to really dive into that one point. If you have 45 minutes to an hour talk, I think you can maybe squeeze in about 3 points max. Well, anything more than that is cramming too much content in. You're trying to force it too much. I find the best structure to actually do a talk is actually through 4 points. This is what's called a format system, and if you actually follow the step, you can actually create your talk very, very easily. The why, the what, the how, and what now. And these are the 4 types of people. There are why people in this world. There are people who really need to know the whys. There are people in the world who they need to know the content. And there's people who are hows. They need to know step by step. And there's also people who need to take action right now. What's the one thing you want me to do, act on right now? Always start off your talk on why. Why is that important for someone to actually be there to listen to your talk? It doesn't have to be a long period of time, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, but actually setting the context of why really helps the audience. Number 2 is the what. This is where the bulk of your content is going to be. What are the stories? What are the analogies? The third part is the how. This is the step-by-step. What are the steps to actually execute on achieving the objective you're trying to achieve? And the last is what now? What do you want the audience to do right now after this particular, when they leave? What's the one thing you want to do? What's the call to action? I have actually created a very specific worksheet to help you create your own talk. If you're actually interested, comment below and let me know, or send me a personal message and I'll send you that worksheet. I'll help you create a great talk structure that will help you in any talk that you're trying to provide in any industry. The surprise guest when I put him in here before. It's Ed Sheeran. Remember that episode number 2, I think?
Yeah, no.
And we're actually here, and now it's finally happened after about 27 episodes in. We're finally doing the event tonight, aligned.
Doesn't seem that long ago for me.
Well, it seemed like forever.
A lot of episodes for you.
You look kind of nervous. What's going on?
I don't know.
Look at that nervous
Well, I
face.
see my face on the camera. Once I start speaking, it's all good.